Forgotten Man, I've been trying to write probably my whole life. I say for the 10 years I've been in Nashville anyway. My favorite record of all time, you guys know, is Guitar Town, Steve Earle, 1986. I grew up listening to that record with my dad riding around in a semi truck. There's a song on there called Good Old Boy Getting Tough. And it always just like made me proud to be where I was from and who I am, and like growing up around the characters that I grew up around, all these blue collar folks. And I got in the room and tried to write that song several times, probably even if with you guys at times. And it always ended up being just like the USA, red, white, and blue, beer on tailgates, I work hard, I'm blue collar kind of stuff. But I always related more to Good Old Boy Getting Tough aspect of being a blue collar American and the like born in the USA version of being a blue collar American. The more born in the USA is more of a satirical kind of thing, right? It's like you listen to it and you're like, it makes you feel I'm born in the USA, but if you really listen to it, it's like
it's a political statement really against.
Yeah. It's against like it's against the government, you know, weighing down on you and the pressures of work and you know, just being somebody from a small town or a place with little opportunity and everything. And that's what really made, like, when I think about what makes me proud to be from Caneyville, Kentucky is, you know, watching people like my dad and my mom, truck driver, factory worker, my buddy Harold Higgs, who I grew up around, that had the garage across from the coffee shop, and all their friends that I would go sit at the coffee shop with my dad on Saturdays and just listen to them tell stories and get a good education on, you know, just being a blue collar boy from Caneyville, Kentucky. So when we started writing that song, there was, man, I got to give Luke Preston some credit because I feel like the verses and everything came together really well and captures that picture of that struggle and the oppression of, you know, being a middle class or lower middle class working person in this country. But I remember it's the most passionate I've ever seen Luke be. He was over there just scribbling, and we're bracking our brains, and he's over there writing. And you played the track, and he sang it. And
talking about the bridge.
Yeah, he's what is this like? Here's to the backs giving out and the callous cracked hands. The bank pissed away your retirement plans. But I'm still holding that flame because I still give a damn about that beaten down forgotten man. And I think that's the only time it says forgotten man in the whole song.
It is.
But to me, it was like the passion that I seen in Luke when he sang that for the first time solidified the fact that that song had to be called Forgotten Man. Yeah. And I know we went back and forth on that. What did you want to call it?
Blue on my collar.
Blue on my collar. Can't unpaint the blue on my collar, which I was against.
You were way against.
See, you win sometimes. You know, you said I won't say it.
We called it Forgotten Man, though.
We called it Forgotten Man, but what he won was, remember, I was trying to change that line. I was like, can't unpaint the blue
no, that was too
on
good.
my collar.
It was too good.
I don't know why. Looking back now, I'm like, why did I ever argue with that? But it was a colorful way to say it. You know, it was like, whoever painted blue on your collar? Well, America painted blue on my collar. Yeah, and I'm glad you guys stuck to your guns on that and we didn't change it. I'm super proud of that song. I started playing it early on. For me, that song,
I remember the first time we played it out.
You were with us.
I was on the road with you.
We were in
North Dakota, maybe.
Not North Dakota. Still the craziest show I've ever played in my life.
It was stacked. They would put people on shoulders. There was a tower of 4 guys.
I threatened to whoop somebody's ass in the crowd that day.
They were throwing phones at you.
He threw a bottle at me, dude. Like, this kid threw a bottle at me. I say kid, he was a college kid. But he's this big old brawny dude, you know. And I seen him do it. And I was like, you throw a bottle at me like that again, I'm going to whoop your ass. And all his buddies was like, ah. And then his buddy, but standing beside him, he looked at me and he grabbed a bottle like this and acted like he was going to throw it. I said, yeah, he threw it and I dodged it. I said, see, your buddy looked me dead square in the eyes. You bowed your head after you threw it. What's the problem? I'm glad that I didn't have to fight him. Or maybe I should have. That'd been no publicity is bad publicity, right? So
I mean, there was some publicity. Was it the day before?
35-year-old man beats up college kid, or he was a pretty good sized boy. 35-year-old artist gets his ass whipped by a college kid.
There's something about that place because wasn't there some controversy with Kid Rock there? Like
Yeah,
the
I think
week after, the week before.
Kid had to cancel his show the night before that. They couldn't do pyro, and there was some other stuff that wasn't working production wise, so they had to cancel the show. And there was a riot there that like the night or 2 nights before our show. So they were already amped up, but that's the only show I've ever done where people were literally like, they kept throwing their phones on stage, and I had to tell them, I was like, guys, I don't know whose phones these are, like. And then it's the first time I've been in that situation, so I'm trying to be cool to everybody, you know, and like take pictures for them and everything. But props to Minot, North Dakota. This is the wildest crowd I've ever played for in my life.
And DB at that show, man.
Yeah. DB was early on at that point in time. He was still selling merch. That was before he was tour managing. He was running around getting everybody hype and videoing for us and everything. DB's became such a integral part of all of this. He's been a huge champion, and he was here for most of the recording process. Forgotten Man, though, also, I wanted to keep the demo.
Yep.
And
I remember that.
I know you guys really wanted to re-record that one. To me, there was a lot of magic in that demo, and I still feel that way, but I'm super happy with the way it ended up turning out. At the same time, I'm not happy that I changed the key in it up a whole step, because it's a lot harder to sing that way, but I don't guess they know the difference live if I'm playing in G or A. So, but no, I really appreciate that song, and I feel like it hit the nail on the head of what it's like.
When we played it at sound check, right? And Tony, guy running in front of the house, he was like, "That's your song." He was like, blown away.
Yeah, he had never heard it before. Yeah. I can't believe we pulled that song off that night. Did we close with it?
Maybe.
There's a good video of it on YouTube. Somebody caught the whole performance and threw it up on YouTube. That's definitely been a big close. That was also, with the first record, we would get a standing O for My Boy, you know. But when I started playing that after that day, people were just, you could see them in that bridge part, man. You would see the dude that looks just like the dude that put shingles on my mom and dad's house standing out there, and he'd stand up when that part came. It's like, to see the people react the way they did and to get a standing O for a song like that just was a really proud moment for me. It's like I felt like I'd represented my people well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.